Hello, it's Chef Brackman reporting from Sri Lanka. How you doing? We've been here for a few days. It's going well. Well, small pepper here and there, but mostly it's going very well. Hi, I like this country very much. As you know, we're here again this year. We were here last year for a few weeks. Hi, it's been a few days in and it's going well. There are a few issues here and there that build resilience, builds travel experience with kids. I mean, it's building everything it's supposed to be building, and there's been quite some rain, so we don't have a lot of sun. It's a nice break for some of us who are coming from Doha with a lot of sun. Others, the Brits, are not too happy because they don't have enough sun, but we're happy. Arrival was fine. The e-visas this time was free for myself and the children and the family. Last year I paid $104 for the family of 7, and this year I applied for the e-visas and it was free. So I guess they're trying to encourage more tourism. Immigration was a breeze. The guy was just smiling. He takes up the passport. Oh, who is Zavi? Who is Yannick? Who is this person? Who is this and that? We got past pretty quickly, no problems. We had a taxi take us to an accommodation. We're there for maybe 8 hours. We arrived at 2 a.m. We got to the accommodation just before 4. We slept. We woke up. We had breakfast and then started traveling to Ahongala. Ahongala was amazing. We were there for a few days in a resort, in real resort. So it was an all-inclusive resort, all you can eat, on the beach, nice pools, nice activities for children. So my children loved it very much. So we spent a few days there and then we headed to Gala. Transfers here are interesting. Like if you're doing city to city, like initially I tried to hire a driver for the 2 weeks, but the driver wanted to stay with us all 2 weeks and then do tours, but they charged me 600,000 Sri Lankan rupees, which is almost I think $1,800. So it was a bit too much and I didn't want to pay that much, especially as I knew that there would be days we'll be chilling in the hotel, chilling by the beach and not doing anything that requires a lot of driving. So we canceled that planning and opted to just get to the next city explored by TikTok or tuk-tuk or taxis. So that's what we've been doing. But in Sri Lanka, it can be quite difficult to just use the Uber or Pick Me app to get a driver to take you to another city. They always try to rip you off. So the guy we booked the day before, I think on the last day he decided that he would rather charge to and fro instead of coming back empty. So you have that, so you can just plan ahead. Taxi is not very expensive, so you can just offer the to and fro price if you are going to use Pick Me or Uber. So that was what we did. We're still in Gala. On the drive to Gala, as you know, 2 of my children, I had to look for them in the resort, Zimora and then Yannick. That was very stressful. So now we're more careful and planning better to just reduce the excitement. Thank you so much. So we're trying to reduce all that excitement. On our way coming to Gala, one of my sons had motion sickness, so he was sick in the car. So we pulled over, we cleaned him, we started to clean the car. The driver called his boss, and then all of a sudden he told us to stop cleaning, that his boss told him to charge us 5,000 for cleaning. I'm like, in Doha, I don't even spend $10 to have my car thoroughly cleaned. And and they have just this spot in your car. So like, no, you're not going to get that money. They were he was quite mean and opportunistic. But we're here. The city tour yesterday was very nice. We love Sri Lanka. Today I had a cooking class. The kids are now off to the pool and beach with my husband so that I can get a break this afternoon. It's a nice country, but the infrastructure and the tourism can be better planned. The hotel that I'm in now, they have shown me premium shege. Like, I'm in my fourth room. I'm in my fourth room, and my children are in their second room. Like, we arrived in this hotel, and then they said to me, "Oh, we upgraded one of the rooms to the sea view," and they were making it seem very nice. I said, "No, I booked 2 rooms next to each other for a reason. I'm traveling with children." And they were like, "Oh, I should just see the sea view room and see where the rooms are and see if it will work." I said, "Okay." So they put my stuff in the sea view room. Then they showed me the second room. It was far apart. It's a very big complex, and I don't want to be running up and down. So I said, "No, don't upgrade me anymore. Give me the rooms that I booked." So they put me in a room next to the children. And, you know, when they signed me in, they put on the AC, they put on the fan on very high, blah, blah, blah. So when they left, of course, we turned off the fan, because who wants the fan blowing that hard? So immediately we turned off the fan, we realized the AC was not working. I don't know how they thought we wouldn't notice, but we called them, we said, "The AC is not working." They sent someone to fiddle around with it for a while, and then say, "Oh, no, it's not working. We'll have to change your room, but it's better if you go back to the seaside." I said, "No. If you want to send us to the seaside, you send 2 of us to the seaside." And then they started with, "Oh, but the seaside rooms are more expensive, blah, blah, blah." When I booked this place, I didn't realize, maybe I wasn't paying attention. It's serviced condos as opposed to hotel rooms. It runs like a hotel. They have a front desk. You can call them 247, blah, blah, blah for stuff. But it's really, I don't know how to explain it, but there are mini houses with kitchen, washing machine, everything. So I said no, and they started telling me the beachside rooms are more expensive. I'm like, "You don't understand. You're under contract to give me the rooms I paid for, or give me rooms that are next to each other, whatever." They went back and forth for a little while. Then they upgraded both rooms. Each room has 2 bedrooms, so we had 8 beds. So all of us moved to the seaside. I settled the children. I settled myself. I thought we were done with this mess. I went to bed. The next morning, the AC in the living room had leaked. The whole floor was wet. So we called them, gave them all the information, and then went out for the day. I came back. The floor, I turned off the AC, so it wasn't leaking while I was gone, but the floor was still wet. And then we called them. They said, "Oh, they thought the AC that was bad was in the previous room, that they had gone to fix the previous room." I don't know what they fixed there, but my AC was still bad. So I called them back to fix the actual AC that was leaking. And then they sent 2 men who climbed on a ladder and fiddled around for a while. Like, at some point, they were letting water just pour onto the floor from the AC in the ceiling, and it was splashing on me. And they apologized, and they monkeyed around and said it was fixed. Then they called the cleaning guy, who came with this stuff that used to push water out. So he just opened the door to the balcony and just pushed all the water into the balcony, and then grabs a towel and mop, cleans the floor, and leaves. I'm like, the incompetence, the lack of proper training and all of that, it's sick, it's crazy. But they left, so I thought, okay, this is my room, it's done, it's settled. I'd rejected the beach room first. I'd moved from the one next to in the heritage side, so this was the 3rd room. And then by this morning, it was still not fixed. And they said to me, while I was in the cooking class, that, "Oh, we cannot fix it, so we'll give you a new room. So you need to move when you get back." So I have just moved into my 4th room of this adventure. The AC seems to be working, so fingers crossed it stays well. I'm doing well. So that's but at least each time I've moved, I've just fresh towels, a cleaner room. But it's such a nice complex. Like, it's on the beach. It's it's like the building is nice in itself, but they just need to clean better and maintain. I can understand the difficulties with maintaining property like this because it's on the beach, so all this salt water causes a lot of corrosion. So things are dying, like a lot of the handles and stuff outside are rusting and falling apart. So I can understand that it takes a lot to maintain, but you can't have such a nice property on this premium spots in the world and just let it just fall apart. So knock on wood, I'll be able to stay in this room until I'm done with this city and move on to the next city. So that's just that. Tomorrow I will probably visit markets and museums and just a bit more of cultural immersion. But I love it here. The weather agrees with me. The food is delicious. Traveling with kids here is, if you plan well, it's easy. Like if you arrange your transport up front, you agree with a driver and they come and you go from city to city, it's okay. If your children are not scared of tuk-tuk, you can just hop on a tuk-tuk and look around. If they're not picky with food and if they can eat spicy, you're going to like it here. So in terms of ease, it depends on where you come from. Like I was born and raised in Nigeria, so it's very difficult for me to get overwhelmed by a location. Like I hear like European travelers sometimes complain about traffic, complain about certain things that it has kind of been normalized for me because I went to boarding school in Nigeria, I did youth service, I went to university in Nigeria. So there are some things that just don't overwhelm me that way. So for Nigerians, Sri Lanka is easy. For certain people, Sri Lanka is easy. Well-traveled people, Sri Lanka is easy. If you don't have a lot of travel experience, Sri Lanka takes a lot of planning. But between Sri Lanka and India, Sri Lanka is much easier. So Sri Lanka is like India light, India pro light. So if you've been to India, Sri Lanka will be a walk in the park. That's just how I would explain it. I've never gone to India with my children, but I plan to go to Goa or Kerala, and then I'll gain that experience as well, what it's like. But here, yeah, it takes planning. Everything looks better on their booking.com or on their social media. And if you travel for aesthetics, you need to pay more attention when booking your Sri Lanka tour. Like now I'm in the south, and because of the monsoon season, the seas are very rough. It's raining a lot here and there's no blue water. So if you've looked on Instagram and all of these places and seen your resorts and the water is very blue, just know that you shouldn't be coming to Gal or Hongala and Co in the summer, because the water is not blue here in the summer. It might be in December or January, but right now I have not seen any water that is blue. Because when I booked all these beachside resorts, the pictures online, the waters were very blue. And sometimes I will ask the people who work here and they will just laugh. So just know that you might need to check, when is it actually blue water? When is it, if you want to spend a lot of the time with your children on the beach, you need to know that the water is very rough in this part of the country because the monsoon affects different coasts differently. So for August, if you're a beach bum and it's the beach you want to stay on the whole time, then you should be going to Trincomalee, the other side of the country. Most of the country, around the country, you will find beach because it's an island. But whether you can use the beach you're at depends on the season. It's very rough sea right now. Even being on it with my kids is really giving me palpitations because they don't listen and the waves are really fast. So we don't allow long exposure and we really monitor them when we're on the beach with them. So you will not see blue water. So if you're traveling for aesthetics, take the pictures from Sri Lanka with a little bit pinch of salt, because these days people use AI to put their property on booking.com and all kinds of websites. So just know that Is it comfortable? Are you going to be happy there? Is it close to things? So as opposed to checking aesthetics, which is important, but location, like where is this property in terms of the things you want to do, the activities you want to do, because if transportation into town is going to take longer, then it's not very convenient. In terms of supermarkets that you can access, or restaurants, or the things that you want to do. So look at location, look at the reviews for cleanliness and responsiveness and professionalism and those kind of things. The picture that you want to snap in front of it, you might just be disappointed. I don't know why travel influencers do that. I guess it's for the pay or something, but if somewhere is nice, I say it's nice, and if it's not, I try to explain to you guys what I liked or what I didn't like, because I hate to mislead people. I don't want, like, why would I edit this beach now and make it blue? Why would I make the skies look different from what they are? Like, I want you to see it how it is on the day, so that if you plan to visit, you just know that this is what you're going to get and not more, you know, so that you're not disappointed in case you're traveling mainly for aesthetics and all of that. So yeah, I have my 2 beachfront rooms. I moved for the last time, hopefully this evening, because if I have to move out of this room again, I'm going to fight. The hotel is not even half full, so they're just unprofessional. Like, I don't think this would have happened in like Thailand. They're a lot more customer friendly. Like, if they had empty rooms and for some reason the room they are giving you won't work, they would have sorted it out real quick. Like, they know, I'm sure these people know which ACs are working and not. So instead of coming here waiting for me to discover it's not working, because the last room, the bedroom is upstairs, and then the living room, there's a way the house is, so there's a staircase. So maybe they thought that I would sit in the living room, therefore I wouldn't notice that the AC leaks. So when I reported it, they knew. So why would you just put people through so much stress, as opposed to just give them the rooms that you know are doing well? And then, I don't know, maybe this room, because I'm here for a few days, so maybe they didn't want to give it to me because someone booked it from tomorrow. But I have spoken to a few guests at the pool and at the beach, and it looks like I'm not the only one that has been moved around since they've been here. One of the ladies from Australia I spoke to said she stepped into her shower and looked up, and there was a big hole in the ceiling. So one of the ceiling boards was missing, which scared her that maybe a rat or something would jump on her from there. So she called them, and they fiddled around and they put something that looked like, you know, something to cover it. But it's really disappointing, because this property looked really good, and it's stated as a 5-star on Booking, and they're charging like a 5-star, and then they're giving me this much trouble. So it's been really disappointing. But yeah, the kids are at the pool, so I just thought I'd come here, say hello, just tell you how it's been going, and you'll just see the rest of the adventures soon. So it's midweek. I don't know what day of the week it is. That's how it's going. Hello, Glory by Tuk Tuk. So yeah, Sri Lanka is going well. We love it here. I think that I will come to Sri Lanka again at some point, because I wanted to see higher up north, but I didn't want to do too many road trips with the children, so I've had to remove some cities that I really wanted to see. But I want to do Pakistan and Maldives together at some point, and then I realized that you can't fly from Pakistan to Maldives. You have to either come back to the Middle East, like Oman, UAE, or Doha, or go to Sri Lanka. So I think that if I go to Pakistan, I will just fly to Sri Lanka, visit Anuradhapura and Jaffna, and then go back to Colombo and fly to Maldives or something like that. There's a way it's playing in my head. So I think that I will come and have more cultural experiences here. I really like it in this country, but it has, I mean, for me, it feels like being in Nigeria, traveling in Nigeria. And it's not this to Nigeria. It's just that there are certain things that you just experience, you know, traveling in Nigeria. So that's it. And yeah, hotels should be cozy. Like, hotels should be well thought through, with customers in mind, and just be cozy. But this one has been a lot, really been a lot. But I'm not going to just decide to change hotels last minute, because I know they won't give me any money back. They're not interested. And who says that the next one will be as good? But I find country, you know, I've traveled quite a bit in this country, and I find that here that people don't really care that much, in a way. Like, people were very friendly in Colombo, in Negombo, in Kandy, but here it's like, they'll just be smiling in your face, but it's like there's also that do your worst kind of attitude. So yeah, I've seen it. I've seen the city. I'm ready to go, but the money is tied down, so we'll stay it out. I hope that you're having a good week. I'm having a good week, and take care. Talk to you again soon. Bye.